This is going to be a quick video just to explain the peer review process. It's very important when you write something that you want to polish that you have it reviewed by someone other than yourself. So in English classes, and I'm sure you did this in English 111, we often have the peer review assignment to help you polish your work and give you assistance with editing and revising. So yes, you have other alternatives to polish your work. You can go to the Academic Skills Center. You can use their virtual tutors. You can make an appointment with them. You can send your paper through Smart Thinking, which is an online tutoring service, and they will review your papers. It takes about 24 hours to get it back. If it's a really busy part of the season, it may be 48 hours, but most of the time it's within 24 hours. But within your own peer group, within the class, we always try to do peer review process because it helps you kind of work with someone who has the same information, doing the same assignment, and you sort of share information and you share the experience together. Professionally, we do this all the time. If I do a document at work, oftentimes I'll call a colleague or send a colleague a copy of it to ask them to look over it. So it's a very common practice. One of the complaints we hear a lot of times is, hey, I'm not an editor, I'm not an English major, I'm not the teacher. And just rest assured that this process is not one of perfection. It's really just one of review. So it's always a good idea to have several eyes look at your paper. And what better group to work with than people who have the same information that you do from the class. If you want to take the review further than just the peer review, I certainly support and encourage you to seek out other reviews as well. But the peer review process is important and is a great way to exchange ideas, to see how other students are producing their work, to communicate, to build a learning community. Since a lot of you may not be comfortable or really fully enjoy the peer review process, I always try to give you a chart that is fillable. Now, if we were in a face-to-face class, I would probably just hand you this paper and you would handwrite it, you would fill it out. But for this class, I do ask that you type it in. I think that's the best way. Since you're not together to explain everything, just type it in. As you can see, these are fillable boxes, so you can type in them. And then for full credit, you need to go up here, just sort of highlight that. And you will put the name of the person who wrote the paper. So let's say John Smith wrote the paper. You'll type in John Smith here. And then, oops, I didn't spell John's name right. So there we go. And then you'll say edited by you. So let's say I'm doing it. So I'm Susan Austin. So I'll put my name there. And then that tells me that you're the one who did it. You'll also title this, like when you save this document and upload it to the file exchange, you'll save this and you would save it as John Smith's review of Susan Austin's paper. That way, it would be Susan Austin's review of John Smith's paper. You just sort of show what you reviewed and the name of the person that reviewed, and that way they can sort of find the feedback that they've been given in the file exchange. So we'll talk about the file exchange in a second. So anyway, that's what you do, and then you just go through, and I've kind of guided you through the peer review process. So if you look to the left box, it will give you the prompts for things that you're looking for in the paper, and all of these things would be things that you would be graded for. So it's just my way of sort of giving you a heads up of things I'm looking for in the paper, also a way to give your peer review partners feedback in those areas. So make sure that every box is filled out, and your answer should not be yes, no. That really doesn't tell the person anything. So I need sentences and comments. So here it says, does the essay have a clearly written thesis statement with one purpose? You would just put yes. You would put yes, the purpose is. Or yes, the student included everything, including the article name, author, publication, and controlling idea of the article. Let's say they forgot to include the publication of the article. Then you could put everything looks great except for you may want to add the publication, because I know Miss Austin said that you should have that. So the comment box is where you would give them kind of like a tip to how to improve upon their work, but no yes or no answers. That gets us nowhere. That's lazy and it's ineffective. So here, does the writer include details to prove the thesis with examples that are specific to the article? Yes, the writer did a great job to provide specific examples. I particularly like the example of, you're in a college class. This is not playtime. Make sure that you're giving full answers so that your feedback is effective. So anyway, you'll just go through all of this, and everything is sort of kind of played out here. Now here I asked, was the tone analyzed? Some of you may analyze the tone and some of you may not. You could put in here, I did not see evidence of tone being analyzed. And then that way, if the person thought they did, that would be a good clue that the reader that analyzed their paper or reviewed their paper didn't exactly see it. So, yeah, good full sentences and good full feedback. And I know a lot of you don't feel comfortable with grammatical errors. Some of you may, some of you may not. But try to go through and think about word choice. Did they repeat a lot of the same words? Did they have a variety with their sentence length? Did you notice any spelling? If you did, you can do that. So you're going to fill out this form and you're going to save it, like I said, with Susan Austin's review of John Smith, or John Smith's review of Susan Austin's paper. And you'll save that. Then you're also going to go into their paper and you're going to add comments there. So for each student that you review, you will upload 2 documents, the peer review form with the filled out column, and then you'll also go into their paper and include some comments. So I'm just going to show you, I don't think I can, let me see if I can get this, I don't think I can get it any bigger. If you go to the top and you'll see the review tab, you can just hit comment and you can put comments line by line in their paper. If you're not quite sure how to do that, you can always go to YouTube and get a tutorial. There are loads of tutorials on technical types of things for Word documents, but you just go to the review tab and then it will give you the option for a comment. You could also put information at the bottom of their essay just to say, hey, here's some things I've noticed. You may want to go back and review this in paragraph 2 or paragraph 1, but the line by line comments work best. Okay, once you do these things, you have to communicate within the file exchange. So the way to access your group is you go to the blue menu navigation bar, which is on the left side of your screen. It's where all of the tabs and everything for the class are. Go to the bottom and you should see a menu item that says groups. You'll click on groups, and then once you open that up, you'll see file exchange, and then it automatically loads you into whatever group I've assigned you to. I generally make groups of 3 to 4 people. It always depends on the class size. I try to stick with 3 as much as I can, but sometimes classes are a little bigger and I'll go 4 per group. You do have to review every student in your group as long as they post by the deadline. If a student misses the deadline, he or she has missed the opportunity to get a review for their paper. You are graded on the peer review. As long as you post your paper by the deadline, you've earned 50 points. It's very simple. You just post by the deadline. You do have to post full essays for credit. So some students try to kind of cheat a little bit and they'll just put like a partial paper, or I've had students upload outlines instead of papers, or they'll maybe just upload the introduction to the paper. That would not give you credit at all. You would get a 0. So the only way to get the 50 points is to do the full essay. It can be a rough draft because you're still in the stage of perfecting some things, and that's why we do the peer review. So, but make sure it has all the elements, because as you see with this peer review form, I'm asking you to review all the things that are required for the assignment. So for credit, for that 50 points, you have to load everything up. You get your other 50 points by reviewing everyone's paper that posted on time. And that's very important. Again, please don't email me to report someone who didn't do their work. I will be able to see that, and I don't need any kind of alert for that. The only time you would need to contact me is if no one in your whole entire group participated. And that happens occasionally. It doesn't happen that often. But if it does happen, please let me know, because I don't want any student, sort of sitting out there hoping to get a review and then no one in their group participates. That's another reason why I give like 3 or 4 students per group, because just on the off chance that someone doesn't participate, you still have the opportunity to get a couple of reviews from your peers. But I have had it a couple of times happen where a student doesn't get any feedback because of the people in their group, they don't participate. So if that happens, make sure you wait until the deadline has passed, and then you can alert me to that, and I will make sure that you get a review, even if it's me giving you the review. So anyway, I hope this helps you understand how we're doing the peer review group. I always set a deadline for when you have to upload your paper, and then I give you a couple of days to complete all the reviews. And so the reason why I do that is because I know for a living I will read 20 papers a day, but I know you may not want to read multiple papers per day. There's a big burnout factor to that. So I try to give you a couple of days so that maybe you can do one a day, or that you have some time to really review and give some good feedback. So I hope this helps you do the review, and if you have any questions, let me know.